Hey, welcome to the channel. My name's Tom Peter, and today I'm going to take you through a 20-minute no repeat barbell workout. We're going to be doing this workout in an EMOM format. That means every minute on the minute, we're going to be moving to a new exercise. You're going to need a barbell, some plates, and ideally a squat rack for this workout. We're going to do some heavy barbell exercises, and we'll move to lighter barbell exercises, taking plates off as we go through. Let's get right into the workout. If you're not already warmed up, there's a 5-minute bodyweight warm-up linked in the description. But if you're good to go, load the bar with your 8 rep max front squat. Feel free to pause the video. You can use any grip you like, using straps, crossing over the shoulders, or a conventional front squat grip. So you've got a whole minute to do 8 reps, and whatever's left of the minute after those 8 reps, that's your rest time. So don't rush them. Take your time, slowly lowering the bar. If you want a slight pause at the bottom also, that's fine. Keep going, keeping your knees apart and your chest nice and upright. Try and keep the elbows relatively high to stop the torso collapsing forwards. If you're really not comfortable with barbell front squats, you could use a double dumbbell front squat or a single heavy kettlebell. So just take the rest of the minute off as a rest. This is a no repeat workout, so you won't be going back to the front squats. We're going to move onto a barbell back squat next, and this whole heavy bar section, we're going to be doing sets of 8 reps. You've got plenty of time to fit those 8 reps into each minute, so make sure you're taking your time with your reps. A good tip for a stable back squat is to squeeze your shoulder blades together and maintain a tight upper back. You also want to drive the knees out so that they're not collapsing inside of your big toes, and try and keep the elbows under the bar. However, that will depend on your shoulder flexibility. Take your time on the way down and then drive up with a little bit of a faster pace. Once you've finished your squats, you're going to need to bring the bar onto the floor, because the next exercise is going to be a conventional deadlift for 8 reps. Avoid any excessive rounding of the upper or lower back, and make sure you keep the bar really close to your center line all the way up. From a bird's eye view down, the bar should never drift in front of your shoelaces towards your toes, so try and keep them stacked on top of the tongues of your shoes or your shoelaces throughout the whole lift, and it will reduce the stress on your lower back and make the lift more efficient. Next, you're going to move onto another deadlift variation called a sumo deadlift. You want a much wider stance, and this time your hands are going to be on the inside of your knees. It's a slightly more upright position than a conventional deadlift. Your feet should be turned out at 45 degrees to one another. Your arms should be straight. Externally rotate your shoulders, squeezing your upper back together before you lift. If you want to reset your back position every rep, that's absolutely fine. But if you're more comfortable to touch and go it, that means just come straight back up, maintaining your back shape. That's fine also. Once you've finished those, take a break for the remainder of this interval. The next minute is going to be a rest interval, giving you some time to lower the weight slightly on the bar. You're going to need to load the bar with a weight that is around your 10 rep max push press. The push press is a shoulder press with a slight dip and drive of the legs to start off the lift. There's a few of these rest intervals built into the EMOM. It just means that you're not rushing to change the weights, and it also helps you to stay fresh so that you can lift closer to your potential for the exercises. This is great if you're looking for some strength improvement because it means that you're not always lifting under fatigue. This next section is going to be 10 reps of each exercise, so get ready to go with those 10 push presses. Start off with a slow quarter squat and then drive up fast, pressing the bar up and overhead. You should finish underneath the bar, so you're going to need to press the bar up and back slightly. Definitely don't press the bar out in front of the body, or it'll be really hard on the lower back and won't be great for your shoulders either. So you want to use that leg drive, lifting the maximum weight you can for 10 reps. The bar should be loaded relatively heavy, and next up we're going to do 5 per leg alternating reverse lunges. So that will just be 10 reps total. Make sure you're getting a nice low drop with that back knee. You can gently touch the floor if you've got a soft surface, or just come very close. The front knee should not collapse in. Try and keep your upper back tight like you would on a back squat and your elbows underneath the bar. Next, we're going to hit the back and biceps with a barbell bent over row. If you're finding the weight a little bit light, you could always put some on or just pause at the top of the row for a split second. Pull the bar up and slightly back in towards your body, as opposed to just pulling it directly up in a straight line. This will help you to engage the back muscles a little bit more and also reduce the stress on your lower back. You want to minimize the bobbing of your body, trying to keep it nice and stationary as you row. Next up, you've got a wide grip floor press. You want to lower the bar of control until your triceps make contact with the floor, then press straight back to the top. Take your time in the lowering phase of this lift. You've got plenty of time to get those 10 reps done, so don't rush it. You want to squeeze your chest and triceps at the top and have a nice smooth lowering of the bar with gentle contact on the floor with your elbows or triceps. Next up, you've got another recovery minute, allowing you some time to lower the weight on the bar. You're going to need to lower it to a weight that you can do 12 strict press with. A strict press is different from a push press because there's no assistance from your leg drive at the start of the movement. So we're halfway through the workout. We've got a new set of exercises to come with this new weight. I've generally chosen exercises that can all be done for the same amount of reps with a given weight, but if you want to micro adjust the weight slightly using the short rest times during each minute, you can always add little plates on and off in between the exercises. Get ready to go for those 12 strict presses. You want to press the bar up and over your head, finishing above the crown of your head. And you want to start the bar as close to your collarbone as you can with your elbows underneath the bar. Remember, there's no leg assistance for these reps, so you shouldn't be bending the knees to generate momentum. Try not to lean back at the top of the movement, so you're avoiding any excessive overarch in your lower back. Next, we're going to move on to a bent over row, but this time we're going to take an underhand grip, meaning your palms are turned away from your body. This underhand grip, while still working your back muscles, is going to shift a little bit more emphasis onto the biceps. You should be using a narrower grip than you'll be using for the wide overhand barbell bent over row. And we'll be doing 12 reps of this exercise. So we're back onto the floor for another set of floor press, but this time we're going to take a close grip. So that's any grip that's inside of your shoulder width. You want to tuck your elbows in so you're touching the floor next to your body. We've got 12 reps of these close grip floor press. You've got plenty of time to complete them, so make sure you're taking your time on the way down. Fake it till you make it A, and if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Back to your feet now. The next exercise, we're going to do 12 Romanian deadlifts. A Romanian deadlift is different to a conventional deadlift because you're going to keep a fixed, relatively straight knee angle, and the bar probably won't go all the way to the floor unless you're very flexible. Unlock the knees slightly, but then keep that knee angle fixed for the whole movement. Pull your hips backwards, hinging at the hip, keeping the bar really close to your shins and quads. And then on the way up, you're going to squeeze your glutes through, coming back to a straight top position. Make sure that bar doesn't drift forwards in front of the toe line. From a bird's eye view, you should keep the bar above your shoelaces at all times. For the next interval, we're going to take our final weight change. We're going to drop the weight on the bar slightly because all the next exercises are designed to be done with a slightly lighter weight. And we're going to be doing 14 reps of all the exercises in this next section. If you're enjoying more of a strength focus to your workouts, check out my barbell ebook. I've got a 12-week plan which gives you reps, sets and percentages to work to, as well as periodization through the 12 weeks. You can check it out in the description. You can still do them alongside these workouts, but it just gives you a little bit more structure to your weekly training. Next up, we're going to do 14 barbell bicep curls. I wanted to go fairly heavy on this so that the other exercises in this section weren't too light, but that did mean that in order to keep the form neat, I split the 14 reps up throughout the minute. Make sure you've got a nice stable core and you're not throwing your hips into the curl. You want to squeeze your biceps at the top without resting the bar on top of vertical forearms. Lower with some control, minimizing any rocking of the body. If you need to break the 14 reps up into sets with short rests, as long as you total 14 in the minute, that's absolutely fine. The next exercise, you'll come onto the floor and we're going to do some reaching crunches. This is not a full sit-up, this is just a small reaching the bar up, stacking your abs, squeezing and crunching at the top. Although I'm a little late to the floor on this exercise, you have plenty of time to do the 14 reps, so don't rush them, and I recommend taking a brief 2-second pause at the top of each rep whilst you contract your abs. We're going to be doing 14 reps of this exercise with those pauses added in. You can stay on the floor for the next set because we're going to be doing another ab exercise. We're going to do some leg raises, bringing your shins up close to the bar. We also want to have your head and shoulders slightly off the floor in a subtle reaching crunch position. It's really important for an effective ab workout and to reduce the stress on your lower back that you don't excessively overarch your lower back off the floor when your legs come into the bottom position. So only bring the legs down as far as you can support that good core brace for. And at the top, make sure you don't bash your shins on the bar. This next one's definitely going to test your balance more than any of the others. We're going to do 7 per leg, so we're still totaling 14 single leg Romanian deadlifts. For balance, I recommend doing all on one leg, then all on the other. Another tip is to make sure the center of the bar is level with the foot you're standing on. So you actually need to shift your weight slightly over towards the leg you're standing on to keep the weight central. And also try not to aeroplane your hips to the side. So you shouldn't be turning your hips out to face out to the side when you're doing it. A good way to avoid doing this is get your back toe to point down towards the floor at all times, and that'll stop your hip from opening up too much. On to the final exercise next. We're going to do 14 per side barbell overhead marches. This is great for core strength and shoulder stability. So press the bar above your head You're gonna do an alternating march, trying to get your knee above your hip height, squeezing your abs in at the top. Make sure that bar stays above the crown of your head with your elbows locked down. And that's it, workout complete. Great job for getting to the end. Hopefully there were some new exercises in there that you'd never tried. If there were, let me know in the comments which ones did you enjoy that you'd never done before. I've got an ebook out called the 12-week barbell plan. It's more of a sets, reps and percentages plan focusing on strength improvements. If you want a little bit more structure to your training, you can do this alongside my follow along workouts. So there'll be a link in the description there if you want to check that out. It'll take you to my website. Consider subscribing to my channel. There's a barbell playlist with loads more workouts that you can try out. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, and hopefully see you again soon for another workout.